So today we're going to take a look at this State of the Agents video, which was released by Riot, and we've got another John here. Apparently to work for Riot, you just have to be called John. So we've got John Riot here, who's going to talk us through the State of the Agents. And first we're going to watch through the whole thing. I will leave a timestamp in the video, talking about when we're going to break it down. But yeah, we're going to watch the whole thing, then we'll start diving in on the specifics and talk about what it might mean for the future. So let's dive in.
Hey everyone, this is John. Let's talk about new agents and what we're thinking about for 2023. Since the last time one of these articles has gone out, there's been a lot of changes to the game, new agents introduced, and we're always observing and thinking about the balance of the game and what's happening with the entire ecosystem. That said, as things are happening and we're analyzing, we're also keeping an eye out for smaller gameplay changes, anything that could impact the ecosystem, such as the Stinger. Let's dig into new agents. After 2.5 years of Valorant being a live game, we found a good groove between making new agents and maintaining the live game. Creating new agents keeps the game feeling fresh. There's new gameplay introduced, new ways to learn the game, as well as new thematic spaces to explore and fall in love with. That said, it takes a long time to make a new agent, so we're always thinking about the current state of the game and the future state of the game when introducing one. A new agent's impact often takes a long time to be felt. When we look at when the game was launched, Viper took about a year before her niche was carved out and strong. And then when Chamber launched, his impact to the game continued to grow for months on end. So you're probably wondering, what are we releasing for 2023? So in 2023, we'll be releasing 3 new agents. We'll be releasing an Initiator, a Sentinel, and finally, we're not going to quite give that one away yet. You'll have to wait until later in the year to find out. As always, we need to maintain a good balance of roles and game styles, but as we've added a lot more agents to the game, we don't necessarily need to have it be a perfect one-to-one balance across all the roles. Soon, Agent 22 will be joining the fight, bringing their own eclectic way to deal with situations, new ways to check corners, get onto locations, plant the spike. The battlefield can be a super stressful place. There's a lot of enemies all around, chaos ensuing, that one dude whose mic is super blown out and you don't know how to deal with it. It's a super stressful place. Sometimes you just need some friends with you, chilling with you as you walk down a path to the next bomb site. You know, not everyone needs to be so aggressive. Like Fade, we get it, you're a badass, you're gonna destroy everything in your path. Like, can we just relax for a second? Anyway, I gotta get going. I appreciate talking about A22 with y'all. Nos vemos.
And so that was the video, but now let's start diving into some of the actual specifics as well. And we'll start with this very basic point.
So in 2023, we'll be releasing 3 new agents.
So they're going to be releasing 3 new agents. Now, the way that I kind of theorize that this will work out is that we're going to get one pretty soon, as they kind of said at the end of this video. We'll get, I suspect, one in the next act as well. Then this episode will end. We'll start the new episode. And normally at the start of a new episode, we were getting a new map, right? That's what happened with Pearl. That's what happened with Lotus. So I'm just going to assume that new episode equals new map, because that's the kind of trend we've been on. And then for that episode, we'll probably have one gap act where there is no new thing. And then there will be a new agent. Now, this happened when Pearl came out. Then there was a break act. And then Harbor came out. So, you know, maybe that is how it will work again. But then let's dive into this next point, which is really the juicy stuff.
We'll be releasing an Initiator, a Sentinel, and finally, we're not going to quite give that one away yet.
Okay, so we're going to be releasing an Initiator, a Sentinel, and a Mystery Agent. Now, I assume that that's the order they're going to come out. We can talk about it a bit later, but this agent, what they described from this video, sounds like an Initiator. So I'm going to assume it's going to go Initiator, then Sentinel, then question mark, question mark, question mark. Now, obviously, this question mark agent, a lot of people have theorized, oh, it sounds like that's going to be a new class of agent. And it very well could be a new class of agent. But I'm going to go on a little bit of a theory here. And so if you'll indulge me, here's something that I think it also could be. That it's not necessarily going to be a new class, but we might get an agent that has no class. But who might that be? What would an agent with no class look like? And to me, there is one thing that you would say kind of fits the no/all class system, which would be an agent that steals others' abilities, right? Because then depending on whose abilities they steal, you know, they would be a different class, and therefore they don't necessarily fit into any of the exact classes themselves. Now, Riot earlier on mentioned that there is going to be one of these agents that we've heard from before. One of the agents that gets released this year is an agent who kind of already exists in the lore and whatnot. And some people have theorized that that is going to be Reyna's sister. Now, there was a great article released that I will leave a link in the description to it if you want to read more, basically just detailing all of the lore about Reyna's sister and, what's going on with Reyna's sister and all of that. But the basics of it is that Reyna's sister isn't doing too well, and she's like Reyna, where she needs the kind of soul orbs to kind of survive, right? She needs that to be able to live, essentially. And my theory is that Reyna's, if that agent is Reyna's sister, maybe instead of, healing like Reyna does when she gets a soul orb, right? What if Reyna's sister took abilities, when she got a soul orb instead, and that was her kind of makeup? If that does end up being the case, then I am an absolute genius, and you heard it here first. Okay, but now let's skip ahead a bit to talking about Agent 22.
Agent 22 will be joining the fight, bringing their own eclectic way to deal with situations, new ways to...
Okay, so this is the kind of little, poster thing that they gave us here, and we can go on to some clues from this, right? We've got Beard Pappy here, with a little picture of Brimstone, and the word Pappy, Spanish, all of that, I would assume, and they even say, Vamos at the end and whatnot of this video. So I'm going to assume that the new agent is Spanish speaking. That obviously doesn't mean they're from Spain. That could mean quite a few different places. But I think the most likely one will be Latin America, South America, Argentina, Chile, that kind of region. I wouldn't be surprised if this new agent was from that region. And then the second thing that a lot of people have been pointing to as well is, what are these little arms here that are reaching for the drink, right? What is this thing? Is this going to be, kind of part of one of the abilities, kind of like a Fade Prowler or, Killjoy Turret? Like if we did a Killjoy poster or a Fade poster, maybe they would have those in them. And maybe this is, just another example of that, where whatever this thing is might be one of the abilities, right? Might be the key to one of the abilities. But honestly, I have no idea what this thing is. If you can kind of guess based on the color of it and whatnot, do let me know what this could be, but I have no idea. And then they also start talking about what the new agent will bring as well.
There's new ways to check corners, get onto locations, plant the spike.
Okay, new ways to check corners, get onto locations, and plant the spike. Obviously, that kind of sounds like an initiator, right? Those kind of things fit the initiator class, I would say. So yeah, I do think it's going to be initiator. And when we look at the initiator class right now and what we've got, I would kind of expect the next initiator to be more of a challenge to breach than anyone else, right? For Sova, we have Fade. For KO, we've got Sky, where, these kind of pairs of agents are doing, similar sorts of things. Maybe not the exact same, but similar kind of things. But Breach is kind of unique, right? He's kind of the one that does his kind of job. And so it wouldn't surprise me if this new agent, a new initiator, was more similar to Breach than any of the others, because that would just kind of make the most sense. Not the exact same, but doing fulfilling that similar sort of role, maybe a bit further back in the team, initiating from a deeper role perhaps. And then finally, they also talk about the kind of agent's character, I think, here at the end as well.
The battlefield can be a super stressful place. There's a lot of enemies all around, chaos ensuing, that one dude whose mic is super blown out and you don't know how to deal with it. It's a super stressful place. Sometimes you just need some friends with you, chilling with you as you walk down a path to the next bomb site. Not everyone needs to be so aggressive. Like Fade, we get it, you're a badass, you're gonna destroy everything in your path. Like, can we just relax for a second?
Okay, so I think that they're generally talking about the, character, what kind of person they are, right? That they're gonna be very relaxed. But there's also, some things to consider there as well, like, we're talking about, chilling with people. The card that was, the kind of the teaser card for the station is also called Tight Knit. So there seems to be some kind of, communal vibe type thing going on. What you want to read from that, I don't know. But keep that in mind when, we're thinking about what this agent could be. And so that was some of my thoughts on what this video was kind of telling us. Let me know all of your theories, what the mystery class thing is going to be, what you think, Agent 22 will do as well. Let me know in the comments down below, because I'm sure many of you will have your own little different theories.